All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about that feeling. You know the one where you lose hours to your phone and you just get this nagging sense that your focus isn't what it used to be. But more importantly, we're going to look at the why behind it, the actual science, and then lay out a clear path to getting your control back.
So let's just get one thing straight right off the bat. This is not about a failure of character. It's not about you lacking willpower. As it says right here, you're not lazy. You're addicted. Your brain is just doing what it's been programmed to do in a world that is actively and very successfully hijacking your attention.
I mean, you know this feeling, right? You pick up your phone for what you think will be just a second, and boom, suddenly 45 minutes have completely vanished. You had plans, you had things you wanted to get done, but you got stuck. This feeling isn't an accident. It's literally a design feature of the world we live in now.
Okay, so let's lock in this first point because it's so important. This isn't about laziness, it's about overstimulation. Your brain is simply reacting to the constant bombardment of stimuli in the environment all around you.
Think about it. Our world is like a giant all-you-can-eat buffet for dopamine. From the social media feeds and the endless notifications to autoplay videos and video game rewards, everything is perfectly engineered to give you a quick, easy hit of that feel-good chemical, dopamine. It's a system designed to create cravings and keep you coming back for just one more swipe.
So, what is the actual mechanism behind that feeling of being trapped? Well, there's a scientific name for it, and honestly, understanding this is the absolute key to breaking free. It's called the compulsion loop.
This right here, this is the engine that drives that just one more video or just one more level feeling. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful cycle that apps, games, and social media have absolutely perfected. They've built a loop that your brain finds almost impossible to escape.
And this breaks it down perfectly. But here's the wild part, the thing that most people totally miss. The biggest dopamine hit doesn't actually come from the reward itself, no. It comes from the anticipation of the reward. It's that tiny moment of hope and curiosity right before you scroll or click. That's the part that truly gets you hooked.
You see, researchers have figured out our brains have two totally separate systems for this stuff. The wanting system, which is just drenched in dopamine, is unbelievably powerful. It's ancient. It's what kept our ancestors searching for food. But then there's the liking system, the part that actually feels satisfaction, and it's so much weaker. This imbalance is exactly why you can scroll for an hour chasing a feeling of satisfaction that never really shows up. Your wanting brain is just stuck in overdrive.
And you know, there's a cost to chasing these constant high dopamine peaks. As the psychiatrist Dr. Anna Lemke explains it, our brain is always trying to stay in balance. It's like a seesaw. For every intense high, it has to compensate with an equally intense low. And that's why a binge of social media or gaming can leave you feeling anxious, irritable, and even more empty than when you started.
Okay, so if we're all stuck in this loop, why can't we just, use our willpower to break out? Why does trying harder feel like it works in the morning but always fails by the end of the day? Well, it turns out we've been using the wrong tool for the job this whole time.
This idea is a total game changer. For years, we've all been told to just be more disciplined, to just try harder. But the science is crystal clear. Relying on raw willpower is like trying to stop a tidal wave with a bucket. It's just destined to fail. And it's not your fault. Scientists actually have a name for this whole phenomenon: ego depletion. The best way to think about it is that your self-control is like a muscle. You can flex it for a while, sure, but if you just keep flexing it all day long without any rest, it's going to get exhausted.
And this is literally what's happening inside your brain. The part responsible for making good decisions and controlling impulses, the prefrontal cortex, it burns a ton of energy. So every single time you resist a notification or force yourself to focus on a boring task, you're using up that fuel. By the end of the day, it's just plain tired. That's why you can be a productivity machine all day and then find yourself mindlessly scrolling at 10 p.m. You're not weak. Your brain is just running on empty.
So, if willpower isn't the answer, then what is? Okay, let's get into the solution. And it starts with something our modern world has trained us to absolutely fear: boredom. So how do we actually do it? How do we reset that overstimulated pleasure-pain seesaw and give our brain a chance to actually recharge? Well, we have to deliberately step away from that all-you-can-eat dopamine buffet.
Now, you've probably heard of a dopamine fast or a dopamine detox. The term itself is a little bit misleading because you can't really fast from a chemical your brain makes naturally. The real goal is simply to give your brain a break from the constant, intense artificial stimulation. It's about recalibrating your reward system so that simpler, more natural things like reading a book or going for a walk can feel pleasurable again.
Now check this out. This shows you just how much we resist being unstimulated. This study is, well, it's shocking, literally. People found the simple experience of sitting alone in a room with their own thoughts so uncomfortable that they chose to give themselves a painful electric shock instead. That is how deep our aversion to boredom runs.
But you don't need electric shocks. The solution is to intentionally build small pockets of what you might call productive boredom back into your day. Try putting your phone away during a meal, or take a walk without music or a podcast. Just let your mind wander. Commute in silence. It's going to feel really weird and uncomfortable at first, but honestly, that's how you know it's working.
Okay, so letting your brain reset by embracing a little boredom, that's step one. That quiets the noise, it gives you a fresh start. But to make that change actually stick, a reset isn't enough. You need a better system. We need to stop relying on discipline and start focusing on design.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Instead of fighting that same uphill battle with your limited willpower every single day, you design your environment so the right choice is the easiest choice. You make your goals the default path so you don't even have to waste energy thinking about it. And here's one of the most powerful, science-backed tricks to do this. It's called an implementation intention. Instead of a vague goal like I'll work out more, you get super specific about the when, where, and what. You are preloading the decision. So when that alarm goes off at 6:30, your brain doesn't have to start a whole debate. The script has already been written. Alarm goes off, shoes go on. And the research on this is just staggering. A massive analysis found that using this one simple technique makes you 2 to 3 times more likely to actually follow through with your goal. See, it's not about being more motivated, it's about making it automatic. And that really brings us to the final, crucial point here. This whole journey is not about becoming some kind of monk who lives a life without any pleasure. I mean, dopamine is essential. It's what gives us motivation and drive. The real goal is to stop being a passive consumer of cheap, easy dopamine and start intentionally directing it toward the things that actually matter to you. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget about some massive life overhaul. What is one tiny change you can make to your environment today? Maybe it's just plugging your phone in another room while you work, or setting out your gym clothes before you go to bed. The path to reclaiming your focus starts with one smart, simple design choice. Let us know what yours is in the comments. If you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below.